This series is almost over. Now, when I started this series 10 weeks ago, I would have never imagined the amount of support and interest that was going to come to the series and to the channel. It's been great and I appreciate all that support and I'm forever grateful. But at the core and the point of making this series was that I wanted to introduce developers to the blockchain crypto ecosystem because I believe developers just don't realize how much of a big changer this is for people that know to programming what they can do with the platforms out there. Now, I believe that cryptocurrencies or blockchain are going to literally change the world that we live in, but I think that right now everything is overhyped and so many coins are overrated. And I don't want to be a part of this hype club that is going just to pump things higher before everything collapses, maybe, and people get hurt. So for this reason, I feel like I don't want to talk about crypto anymore. So if you subscribed to the channel expecting me to talk about crypto all the time, I appreciate your support and I appreciate you being here, but that's just not gonna happen. I want to talk about other things. At the core, this channel was made and I am a developer. Here we like to talk about code, programming, technology, etc., not only crypto. So there are two more videos that I wanted to make. One is this one where we are going to talk about proof of stake, and the next one where I wanted to talk about the projects that I think can be the most interesting for developers and what use cases they might have in the future. So let's get started with proof of stake. On the previous video, we talked about proof of work. Proof of work is a consensus algorithm, which basically means how can we agree that the data on the blocks of the blockchain is true and is valid. And also, how can we protect our blockchain and our network against bad actors, people with bad intentions. So, just as a recap, let's pretend that I am running my own blockchain. Now, I need people to help me secure my blockchain. So if you join my blockchain as a miner, you are going to be helping me do that, helping me verify transactions and create new blocks and verify that all the data is correct. The problem is that I cannot choose you over and over and over again, because if I choose only one node on the network to validate the whole blockchain, that means that that node has too much power, and too much power corrupts absolutely. So what I have to do is I have to invite many people to join my blockchain and to mine my blocks and to verify my transactions, but I need to make it very challenging to basically become a miner. In the case of Bitcoin, as we know, to become a miner and to be able to verify transactions and also get the rewards, your computer has to work really, really hard. Now, this results, as we know, on people spending a lot of electrical power and a lot of computational power to secure and protect a network that maybe they don't even believe in. Now, I say believe because if you think about it, you don't really have to believe on the Bitcoin network. As long as the network is giving you rewards, you don't even have to be invested on Bitcoin. All you have to do is have fast computers and cheap internet. Now, that is not the case with proof of stake. With proof of stake, you can become a validator, a miner on a blockchain only if you hold the coin native to the blockchain that you're trying to protect. And it's also not enough to just have the coin. You also have to stake it or lock it. The logic behind making people lock their coins is that if you are a bad actor and you're trying to sabotage the network, you would actually be sabotaging the network that gives value to your coin. So if you succeed in attacking this network, you would succeed on making the value of the coins that you locked go down. It's also really hard to execute a 51% attack in theory on a proof of stake blockchain, and this is because that means that you will have to have 51% of all the coins on that blockchain. And also, in the case of being discovered by the network, you will be kicked out of the network and all your funds will be locked forever. So if you try to attack a proof of stake network, you are going to maybe lose the value of your coins if you succeed. And if you don't succeed and the network finds out, you are going to get kicked out. As you can see, it's really not rewarding at all to attack a proof of stake network. But locking some coins on a network is not going to guarantee you that you are going to be chosen as a validator and are going to earn the sweet, sweet rewards. Actually, proof of stake means that you have to prove how much stake do you have on the network. What that means is that validators in a proof of stake blockchain are not chosen just randomly. They are chosen proportionally to the amount of coins that they have. This means that if you have a lot of coins in, let's say, our blockchain, we are going to choose you more often because you are the one that has the most amount of coins, and that means that you are the one that has the better interests of our blockchain in mind. As you can probably realize by now, proof of stake doesn't consume nearly as much electricity as a proof of work blockchain. Like for example, because of Ethereum is changing to a proof of stake algorithm, we can see that they are expecting to reduce the energy they consume by 98% or more. There are many cryptocurrencies using many different versions of proof of stake. Now, I say versions because there's literally many ways of doing this. One way, for example, is to reward people that are the largest holders of the coins in your network. But also some other networks will reward people that have had those coins for the longest time. So even if you have a lot of coins but you joined yesterday, you are not going to have a high chance of being a validator compared to somebody that joined 6 years ago. But as always, nothing is perfect and proof of stake has its problems. Just as proof of work rewards people for having very fast computers and cheap electricity, proof of stake, you could say that rewards people for being rich. So what that means is the richer you are, the more likely you are going to be to become a validator and get rewards. So basically on a proof of stake system, the rich become richer. Another bad thing or positive thing about proof of stake, depending on who you are, is that proof of stake also reward people that got in really early. Like for example, if you heard about a project in 2016 and you bought a lot of coins for a very cheap price, it would be impossible for me that heard about this project yesterday to buy as many coins as you can because now the prices are crazy, so it will be realistically impossible to ever expect for me to become a validator. Now this is good for early adopters of the project, people that believed on the project when it wasn't famous, but is not so good for new users. Now to fix these concerns and to make the process a little bit more democratic, something called Delegated Proof of Stake was created. In Proof of Stake, everyone could eventually be chosen to be a validator, and what that means is that we would have to have our computers online running the blockchain software 24/7, ready to be called to be a validator. In the POS or Delegate Proof of Stake, there are delegates. What that means is that those are people that make the commitment to always be running the blockchain software, always be online, always be ready to become a validator. So people like you and me that don't want to keep the lights turned on and the computer online 24/7 can instead vote for a delegate. And we vote by locking our coins basically in the name of that delegate. So basically the delegate is the one that is going to have more stake on the network because many people trust the delegate, and if the delegate gets chosen by the algorithm to validate the blocks, the delegate is going to get, of course, some rewards, and they're going to distribute those rewards with the people that voted for him. So what the delegates have to do is to convince us to basically vote for them with our coins, so then they can get chosen more often to validate the network. This is still proof of stake. You still have to have a big amount of coins because the more coins you have, the bigger your vote is. Also, this means that if a delegate is not being honest, is not always online, or is not distributing the rewards fairly, we, as users, can choose to put our votes in another delegate. So, as you can see, proof of stake and delegate proof of stake are a more democratic way of achieving consensus and securing a blockchain. But the biggest problem, in my opinion, about proof of stake is the fact that it hasn't been really tested for as long and as much as proof of work with the Bitcoin network. There is no chain with as much value as Bitcoin that is running on proof of stake. So we can say that we haven't seen a proof of stake blockchain being attacked and surviving as much as the Bitcoin proof of work blockchain. Even though proof of stake has its problems, like for example rewarding only the rich or not being as secure as proof of work, I still would love to live in a world where the biggest, most expensive coin runs on proof of stake. Not because of the energy waste or because it rewards its people, but just because I believe it's a more democratic and more inclusive way of securing your network. Also, another pretty cool thing about proof of stake is the fact that if you have some coins of whatever proof of stake cryptocurrency, you can stake them right now. Most exchanges support staking, or you can stake them using the wallet of the crypto that you're using, and most people are making 3 to 5% just staking the coins that they bought, which is really, really cool. So that's it for this video. That's it for proof of stake. As you can see, it has many big pros, but also it might have a huge con, which is maybe it's not as secure as proof of work. So we have to wait and see. I am supporting proof of stake projects as much as I can because I just love the idea of having a democratic, secure network. I think it's amazing, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'm wrong, hopefully I'm not. On the next video, as I told you, we're gonna talk about some specific coins that I really like and why they're not direct competition between each other because they are solving different problems and the use cases that they get. As always, please be happy today. Eat kimchi. 감사합니다. 사랑해요. See you on the next one. Bye bye.